All right, CNT125 Network Management Lab. We just got done configuring the switches. We actually configured S1, copied the config and delivered, copied and edited config and delivered to 2, did the same thing for 3. So we're now moving on to the routers, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We'll configure R1, copy it, edit, deliver to 2, edit, deliver to 3. Alrighty, so I'm going to connect in R1 over here. And again, I have my map on the second monitor, so I'm going to be using that for reference as I go. I do not want to enter initial configuration dialog, enable config T. So one of the first things we're going to do here, let's get this so we can see everything. Let's give it a name. As we start managing devices and connecting in remotely, our host name is extremely key to know what device we're connecting into. We'll also put in a banner message. Again, as we're connecting in, this is our clue that we are, what device we're connecting to as we're using SSH. Welcome to SNMP R1. Enable secret class. So we set our enable password to class and encrypted. Let's set our console password. Password Cisco. Login local. Let's also set our SSH remote access. So we're going to do transport input SSH. We're going to say for this guy, login local as well. The account will be local. Let's create that account. Username test, password, IP domain name CNT.org, and crypto CRYPTO key generate RSA. We're going to say yes, we do want to replace these. 1024. So there is our enable password, console password, and SSH enabled and password set. Let's enable our SNMP on here. Basically turn on the SNMP engine. Community. SNMP server community. Oh my goodness, there we go. And we're going to call this public. Again, we could use a name that might be more significant for our company. This is just kind of generic, saying all the routers and switches belong to our public community for SNMP. And we're enabling read-write access on this. All right, we now want to configure our interfaces. So again, I'm looking at my map that's on my second monitor over here, and I'm going to work through the interfaces on this one. So I'm just going to start at the 2 WAN links and then go to the LAN link. So gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0. IP address on this guy, 192.168.32.1. We'll do a no shutdown on this guy. Now, this will turn right back off because this is connected to another router that's not configured yet. Do not let that panic you. I'm going to do gigabit 010. That's the next one on my map. The IP address on this guy will be 96.2. So 96.2. Watch it if you're using the up arrow to make sure you have all the edits in there. No shutdown. Again, this will turn right off because it's connected to another router that's not yet configured. Gigabit Ethernet 0/0 is our LAN port. IP address on this guy be 128.1. Again, watch if you're using the up arrow, make sure you get the whole edit. This one, when I do a no shutdown, will turn on because it's connected to a switch that's functional. All right, so there is my 3 interfaces. We now need to do the OSPF. So router, OSPF 2, network, and I'm going to plug in all 6 subnets, 192.168.32.0. My subnet mask is 255.255.224.0, so the inverse will be 0, 0. Well, I've borrowed to the 32 place in that third octet. I've borrowed to the 32 place, so the remaining bits would make up 31.255 area 0. So there's my first subnet, and I'm just going to work my way around my map. 64, 96. Oh my goodness, that's a horrible number. There we go, 96. Then we have 128, 28. We have 160. And then we have 192. There we go. There's all 6 subnets. We can exit there, exit there. I'm going to do a show run, and I'm going to verify. My name is good, enable secret. There's my username, test, password. Here's my 128.1, and I'm actually going to look at my map and double check. It's easier to fix it now than cause problems later. 32.1 on that WAN link looks good. 96.2 on that WAN link looks good. I'm going to make sure all 6 subnets are there. 32, 64, 96, 128, 160, 192. My inverse mask looks good. Here is all my console and my SSH. So I'm going to do a copy run start on this guy. Looks good. All right. Now that I have all that displaying, I'm going to copy it just like I did on the switch. So let's copy this guy down. Copy. I'm going to close that window for now. I'm going to open up my text file here. Format, make plain text. I'm going to immediately save this guy as R1. R1, there you are. cfg.txt, save it to the desktop. There's my R1 config. Now let's do a duplicate, and we'll call this R2. Because just like we did with the switch, we're now going to edit R2 and deliver it to the router. Again, R2 in this map is up here, top right, R2. We kind of went around in clockwise fashion here. So we're going to edit this router here, edit this config for that router there. So, next page I have reminder notes on how to do this. Similar to what we did in the switch, but there's a couple other commands we're going to deal with or get rid of. Alright, everything above version I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to do the find replace. So we're going to do edit. We want to do there we go. Edit. Find. Replace. There we go. Whew. My goodness. Replace all the exclamation points with nothing. That's done. Come down here. I'm going to edit this to R2. Okay. So there's my R2. Enable secret class. I'm going to fix that. I can delete a couple extra lines here if I want to. Down here under username, test, password, I'm going to get rid of that 0. I'm going to get rid of the license line. I'm going to get rid of a couple of these extra lines here. Under the IP domain name, we're going to do crypto key generate RSA. Crypto key generate RSA. Yes, 1024. Looks good. Under my interfaces, I need to edit those. So I'm looking at my R2 map. I'm looking at my map with R2. Again, R2 is over here. And I'm going to look at my map for the IP addresses. So 00 on this one is 192.1. Gigabit Ethernet is 192.168.192.1. And I'm going to add a no shutdown so that port turns on. Coming gigabit Ethernet 000 on my map is 64.1. No shutdown. And again, I'm double checking that 000, 64.1 looks good. 010 is 32.2. 32.2. Again, no shutdown. Double check it. Okay, so while I'm here, 192.1 looks good according to my map. This here is 64.1, looks good, no shutdown. This one is 32.2, no shutdown, looks good. Coming down through, I can leave that alone. I can leave OSPF alone. I'm going to delete these 2 lines. They tend to give us errors as we're delivering the config. I'm going to fix my banner message. So it says R2. Banner message today, welcome SNMP R2. Okay. All that should be fine. I'm going to delete all this extra junk that I had down here. And after that, I'll put exit. I'll put exit, and I'll put copy, run, start. And I'll hit the enter key once or twice. So now it should run that command, and with the enter, it should actually say, yes, go ahead and save it. So I'm going to save that config. I'm going to highlight it all. Copy. I'm I'm going to go to R2 up here. Say, no, I don't want to do config. Enable config T. And I'm going to paste that config in. And it looks like everything took. There's the copy run start. There it's saving. If I hit the enter key once or twice and do a show run, I should see R2. There's my interfaces. There's my interfaces. There's my OSPF. Here is my SSH. I am golden. Okay, that guy is done. I'm going to take my text file and let's tweak it a little bit for R3. So let's do File, Duplicate or Save As, and I want to make this guy R3. Okay, I'm going to close R2. I'm going to work on R3 now. So coming down through, I'm going to make this R3. That is still good. That is still good. That is still good. All that is still good. I'm going to edit my IPs. That's really the only change I need to make at this point. Now R3 is down here. So I'm looking at my map. And 00 in this guy is 160.1. 160.1. I already have the no shutdown. We're good. 000 in this guy is 96.1 on my map. 96.1. 010 is 64.2. 64.2. Okay. So double check. 160.1 looks good. 96.1 looks good for this one. And then 64.2 looks good for that one. All that's good. I'll edit this to be R3. All that is good. I'm going to save. I'm going to highlight all, copy. Go to R3. I'm going to say, no, I don't want to enter config. Enable config T. Paste my config in. I'll scroll up, make sure it looks like everything took. It is saving it. So we're going to do a show run on this guy. And again, I'm just going to verify things look okay. They do. So I'm going to let that settle, and I'm just going to save my packet tracer file. All right. So we've just did one router, edited the config, and delivered to the other two. That's where we are at this point. Excellent. I'm going to let them settle a minute, and I'm going to make sure lights go green, which they are. And it's a little early, but later on I'm going to have you take a look at the routers and make sure the routing tables are updating. That might be something you want to do now, but you do need to give it a minute. But at first I'm at least going to look at the link lights and show that they're all green. I could hover my mouse over and check that the ports are up and working, which they are. And if I really wanted to, I could probably do a show IP route because I've given it a little bit of time. And what I really want to see is I want to see that all 6 networks are in there. 32, 64, 96, 128, 160, 192. And I do. That's excellent. That tells me my network's up and running. All right. When we come back in the next podcast, we're going to get our workstations in there working, and we're going to verify all this is truly working. All righty.